Guide Dogs for the Blind Fun Week 2021. Guide Dog Handlers Ask Us Anything. The following is a recording of the Fun Week 2021 Guide Dog Handler AMA, or Ask Me Anything, hosted by Director of Puppy Raising Sarah Blevins. The video opens with 9 individual user screens in a grid formation.
Hi, everyone. Hello. Welcome to Fun Week. We're letting everybody come into the Zoom room, so it's just going to take a minute for all of you to load into our Zoom room. So we're just having you all here. Hello.
Welcome, welcome.
Yeah. Okay, it's still climbing. The attendee count is still climbing, so I'm just letting that happen. So make sure we let everybody into the room and so that we are ready. So welcome everyone. And I already see people starting to say hello in the chat, which we love. Hello. I am Sarah Blevins. I am the Director of Puppy Raising, and I'm the host for this session tonight, which is an AMA, which stands for Ask Me Anything, with guide dog handlers. So we're so excited to have everyone here. And just a little bit of housekeeping for just a second. I want to let you guys know that you are welcome to be in the chat and to talk to each other. Make sure you choose everyone in your to field on your chat so that everyone can see your chats, and not the all panelists button. So make sure you choose everyone in that to field. We are going to be monitoring the Q&A. So when you click on the Q&A button, that's where you want to enter the questions that you have for everyone, and then we'll start asking them and answering them. So I am here with Teresa Stern. She is the Vice President of Outreach, Admissions, and Alumni Services. And Teresa, take it away.
All right, well, thanks, Sarah, and happy Fun Week, everyone. And always have to say super huge gratitude and thanks to all the puppy raisers who really make this guide dog lifestyle possible. So I'm joined today by members of our Alumni Association Board of Directors, and we are here to answer any question. We are open. You can't offend us. I don't think, but for the most part. So please, if there's really any questions you have, really encourage you to just jump in there and give it a go. You can usually bet if you have a question, or that somebody else might have the same one. And anyway, so I am working with my 4th guide dog. His name is Wills. He grew up in Texas. Yay. And I'm going to go ahead and introduce or have each member of the panel introduce themselves. So I am going to start with, let me look at my little panel, with Sherry Owen. She's one of our new board members. Sherry, can you introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi, everybody. I'm Sherry Owen, and I am from Goleta, California, which is right next to Santa Barbara. I'm on my first guide dog, Martinez. He will actually turn 4 August 15th, so his birthday is right around the corner. And I'm so happy to be here tonight with all of you.
Awesome. Thanks, Sherry. Deanna Lewis.
Hi, I'm Deanna Lewis. I live in Cincinnati, Ohio. I'm the secretary for the Alumni Association Board. And I'm working my 2nd guide dog, Mambo, who just turned 8. And then I also have my retired guide dog, Pascal. He lives with my mom about 20 minutes away, and he will be 14 in September.
Wow. Holy moly.
Nice.
All right. And Miss Amy, our board chair.
Hello, I'm Amy Salger. My guide is Marcella. She's my first guide. We are out here in Vinton, Iowa. I work part-time as a substance abuse counselor, and today is an exciting day for Marcella and I as we are celebrating our 6th year of starting to work together. So thank you for everybody for making that happen.
Happy anniversary. Yay. That's
Yay.
Awesome. Okay, and I think next I see Maya.
Hi, my name is Maya Scott. I'm with my 4th guide, a spicy little golden retriever named Gleam. who was raised in Washington. I'm from San Francisco, but I'm coming to you from Seattle in a hotel room where I just spent the day visiting Gleam and her Gleam's puppy raiser and her current dog in training. I teach accessible visual and performing arts for City College of San Francisco and do other tidbits of things along the way.
Excellent. Thanks, Maya. Melba.
Right. Hello, everybody. Buenas noches. My name is Melba indeed, and I am here with my first guide dog, Chad. We both teach at the university level teaching. I have been doing that for 23 years. And I can answer questions in 2 languages. I cannot wait. Throw it to me in Spanish or English. I got you. I got you.
That is
So happy to be here.
muy bueno. Awesome. All right. And Chris.
Hi, everybody. My name is Chris. I'm from Seattle, Washington, but coming from you in Idaho at an Airbnb right now. I'm with my first guide dog, Sadie, who is a 4-year-old black lab. The other day I noticed that she's starting to get gray hairs on her chin, which makes me a little sad. But she's great. Yeah, already, I know. I'm a program manager at Microsoft. Really excited to be here, and I love and thank all the work that you guys do as puppy raisers, and really great to be here and answer all your questions.
Excellent. Thanks, Chris. I actually love the little sugar lips when they get older. Cute. Speaking of sugar lips, Marsha.
Oh,
Wow.
Are you talking about my hair or Vivi's?
No.
Hi, I'm Marsha Wick. I'm in Colorado Springs. I'm the immediate past president of the board with my first guide, Vivian, and she turns 10 tomorrow on the 11th.
Oh,
Which,
that's
by
right.
the way, is Teresa's birthday. Happy birthday to you.
But I'm older than 10.
just barely.
All right, Kelly.
Hi there. This is Kelly, and I'm here with my guide dog, Caspian. He's my second guide dog. He's about 2 3/4 years old now. I've had him about 4 months. And my first guide dog, Hope, lives about 5 blocks up from me. So I get to see her once a week, which is fabulous. I have been on the board. I think this is my second term, just beginning, and love it. And I have been working previously with Be My Eyes, and Guide Dogs for the Blind uses that service, which is great. And right now I am doing my own thing, which I've been doing for a while, called Wine Veil. So if anybody drinks wine, you might want to protect it from the bugs. And that's what Wine Veil does.
Oh, wow.
So it's a bunch of fun, and life is good. So thank you.
Awesome. Well, then you miss out with on all that protein.
Oh, yeah, right. Well, I can get that other ways. Yeah.
All right. So that's my motley crew, I think, right, Sarah? Did I miss anyone?
No,
All right.
you did not. Good
Okay.
job.
I
We
will
do
pass
have-
it back to you.
Thank you. And just to let you know, we do have Lena Fang. She's behind the scenes. She is our moderator extraordinaire. So you will see her chatting with you in the chat box, and she's helping me to organize the questions that we're going to ask, and they are rolling in. So here we go, everybody. And as you can tell, this is a very shy group, so we're going to do our best to get them going, but I think it's going to be okay. So I'm going to ask this question of, you know what? I'm going to start with Teresa, the fearless leader. I'm going to let you answer the first question, Teresa. What is something you wish your guide dog was more prepared for or better trained for that raisers can improve?
Oh my goodness. You know what? I am going to have to do the shout out to Robert and Gretchen Ryan, because they are amazing and raised the perfect dog. So Will's really was super prepared. He was able to be left in the house. He could, when I first got him home, I put him on tie down and, crated him and stuff like that. But he was just super responsible. I love that he doesn't, like, when you open the door, and you start to walk out, he doesn't go until you say, let's go. So there's like little things like that that I didn't realize I had been missing in some of my previous guide dogs. But with this one, I can't think of anything new, but it's those little things just that that make such a big difference, that great house behavior and sort of that courteous behavior, so they're not running out the door, that kind of thing.
Thanks, Teresa. That's
Sure.
great. Thank you. So, well, we have puppy raisers here. So we have a lot of like puppy raiser related questions, which we love. So here is another one, and I'm going to ask Chris. So here it is. It's from Gretchen. Tell us all something naughty your dog does. As puppy raisers, we strive for perfect recall puppies, but we love to hear stories of them just being real dogs. All right, Chris, that one's yours.
Let's see. I wouldn't say naughty, but Sadie definitely knows, how to moods. Like there's moments when she's really excited to work, and there are other moments where she gives me the side eye and gives me the biggest sigh, and just goes like, and then and just like she'll still do it, but she just totally lets me know like, okay, I'm doing it just for you. Like you owe me big time. And yeah, like another, I remember the first time I brought Sadie when I started work at Microsoft. Like it was a new place. She wanted to follow me around everywhere, but she soon realized every time I left my office in the building, I would just be going to a conference room for a meeting. And so about a week into work, she kind of figured that out and realized when I'm leaving, I'm not really going anywhere fun. So she just kind of decided to stay in her bed and just said, "It's like, you go do your meeting. I'm going to be right here."
You're not going anywhere interesting.
Smart. Yeah.
Thank you, Chris. All right, here is another question. Amy, why don't you take this one?
Okay.
What information is your favorite to learn about your guide from the puppy raisers?
I think it is, any information is always helpful. But I think just similar to like Chris's question, some of the fun antidotes that they did when they were puppies as well is always fun because they're amazing dogs, but they're also dogs. And so they're going to have those personalities, and to see their personalities from when they were a puppy as well as what we see when they're here with us is just really awesome to see if there's any changes or some of the similarities that go along with them throughout their life.
Nice. Thanks, Amy.
Yeah.
Let's see. Here's another one. Maya, why don't you take this one? What surprised you about having a guide dog? What did you not expect when you applied?
I expected to come away with the perfect dog bot, and I was going to be perfect, and she was going to be perfect, and everything was going to be perfect. So I learned, I think the thing that was unexpected, I probably had a phone book worth of stuff in with guide dogs, calling them, Selma's doing this, Selma's doing that, right? So I think the big thing that I was not expecting was what great teachers they were going to be for me. They guide me from point A to point, B, wayfinding wise, but they've also really been great teachers and guides teaching me about my life and myself, and have helped me change my behavior quite a lot over the years. I've, initially thought that I needed to change my dog to make things work for us. And I've learned that with any good relationship, it's a give and take. And each of them has taught me something beautiful and has given me really incredible and powerful life lessons.
Oh, Maya, that was so nice. Thank you so much. That was beautiful. Okay, let's see. I'm trying to find the next question. There's a lot of questions. Let's see. How about Mary Kay? Mary Kay is all in for Fun Week. I've seen Mary Kay in every webinar. Hi, Mary Kay. Love you. Let's go to Kelly. Kelly, what has been the biggest challenge with you and your beloved guide these past 18 months?
Wowie, good one. Much like Maya, I think we learn how to be good handlers, meaning that we have to listen to our guide dogs as much as they need to listen to us. And it took me a long time to learn that because my eyesight has changed quite a bit over the course of my first dog to my second dog. So I would say that one of the most important things is that over the last 18 months, I've learned to really listen and let him guide me, and not even have to pretend I see nothing, but I really see nothing when we're outside, and trust that he is going to guide me exactly as he needs to. Though he's a youngish dog, and he's very engaging. He really likes other dogs, etc. So I have to work on that constantly. But I really have learned to trust 1000% in letting him really take the reins and guide me, and just be there to let him know when he's, off track or engaging with another person or animal, because you know how it is. Everybody likes, oh, what a cute guide dog, come here, puppy, and he will. And I have to hold him back to, make sure that he doesn't take me with him. Anywho, that's about it. Thank you. Great question.
Thank you, Kelly. Marcia, would you like to answer the question also, because I know that with COVID and kind of life changing in a pandemic, how has life changed for you in the last 18 months?
Oh my gosh, that's a book. I'm more interested in commenting on, there's been some chat about training the dogs to go to church.
Okay, you can talk about that, Marcia. Go ahead. I'll have somebody else talk about the COVID. That's
I'll
fine.
tell you what, my dog was
ready,
better
Sherry.
behaved in church than my children were. And so that's to the credit of the puppy raisers. But under the ADA, believe it or not, churches don't have to allow guide dogs. It's not considered a public whatever. And church is obviously very important to a lot of people. So behavior in church is obviously important. And I've never heard a story of a guide dog being denied entrance into a church. But again, I'll tell you, my guide dog had better behavior in church than my children. She never made a peep. She just, laid down at my feet. And my parents went to Catholic church, so it's the stand, kneel, sit, stand, kneel, sit. The dog would stand, kneel, sit.
Nice.
But my dog just has the best behavior on the planet, and never had a problem with anything. And she's perfect, and even in church. So thank you
so much.
Raisers.
Thank you, Marcia. Thank you for that. All right, Sherry, I'm going to try again. Do you want to talk about COVID? I understand why people don't want to talk about it anymore, but I'm going to try again. Go, Sherry, you can do it.
Sure.
I'm sorry, I didn't know that.
Oh, no, Kelly, I loved your answer. It was so great. That's exactly what you've been dealing with in the last 18 months. And it was
brand new dog. Yeah,
it was perfect. A brand new dog,
COVID.
of course. No, that was a perfect answer, Kelly.
Who has time for COVID? Yeah,
exactly. Go ahead, Sherry.
Oh yeah. So Martinez. He'll be 4, but he's my first guide, and I've only had him, a little over 2 years. So we were still new working together when COVID hit, essentially. And it was interesting because Karen, my puppy raiser is just so wonderful. We actually, Deanna and I have the same puppy raiser, actually. And
wow.
Martinez is he's fantastic. And I made it a point to just work him. I was like, okay, we're going to work, dude. It's going to be a different soundscape out there. And it was very interesting because we got so used to different routes, like going to, I do a lot of work, of life coaching for the university athletes here. And, we would often go to the gym, or we'd go to the ICA building, or we'd go places. And there's always a different soundscape as we went, where certain people would be mowing their yards on a Wednesday, and certain families would, and everything changed. And he just did so good. He did much better than I did. And I just relied on him to get me from A to B. And he was just fantastic. And, you know, for me, it was like, oh my gosh, I don't hear that. And I don't hear this, but he's like, oh, whatever, you know? And so, you know, he's like, well, this is great. I don't have to worry about that mower. And I don't have to worry, you know, and you know, he, you know, we walked to the coffee shop and I took him to, we still walked to the university and we still did things just to keep him working.
Yeah.
But it was difficult. It was a lot of change. The soundscape was a lot of change very quickly.
Yeah. Instantaneous, basically, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sherry.
Sure.
Melba, I have a question for you.
Oh.
And I chose this question for you because I know you said that Chad is your first guide dog, right?
Yes. Mhm.
All right. So the question is from Debbie. It says, what sets Guide Dogs for the Blind apart, and why did you choose to get your guide from GDB as opposed to another organization?
Oh, thank you for the question, Debbie. What a wonderful question. In my case, you know, it was a matter of good luck, I suppose. I was hesitant for many years to get a guide dog, although it had been suggested to me at various points. And the reason it was for that, I was cultural, Debbie. In some, you know, countries in the Caribbean, where I'm from, for example, you know, dogs are not always, you know, well cared for. So there's a stigma. And I was scared of dogs too. But I happened upon a wonderful therapist 7 years ago. And her father had gotten, although I am in Michigan, in West Michigan, her father had gotten his dog from Guide Dogs for the Blind.
Oh my gosh.
And she was able to speak to me about how his life changed and what Guide Dogs had done for him. And well, I started dreaming maybe that could be possible for me too. So she encouraged me, I applied, and today I have the absolute privilege of being an alumni. But you know, it's a whole set of factors that came together for me and for the better, I must say.
Oh, wow. Thank you, Melba. That sounds like kismet.
Yeah. It often is. Yeah.
All right, Deanna, your turn. So do you keep in touch with your puppy raisers, or this person asked, do you prefer a clean break?
It's actually funny that that question would be asked because I called my puppy raiser this afternoon. So we, you know, we don't really talk on the phone a whole lot, and she's really bad about replying to text messages, but you know, when we do talk, we talk for long periods of time. And I really love the relationship I have with her. I think it's great to keep in contact with the puppy raisers, and I've learned so much about Mambos through her and her club too. And then my first dog, I didn't really keep in touch with the raisers. I sent emails, but after a while they stopped responding. So that was kind of sad. So I really cherish the relationship I have now with Karen.
Oh, nice. Thank you, Deanna.
Answer.
Well, let's see that. I'm going to try not to go in like a perfect circle. So of like, do I start again with Teresa? No. I'm not going to do that. That's too boring. So I'm going to ask Maya. Maya, this is a question from Kate. Do you have days that you actively choose to leave your dog home and use other aids instead?
Ooh, pretty rarely. If I'm going to something that is especially loud or may feel too crowded or unsafe for my dog, then I might do so. And it seems to be a little bit different with each dog because every dog has their things. Like this current dog doesn't really care about loud so much, but my last dog was not really happy about big crowds. He would just kind of stop. Or if it's especially hot. So I would say in extreme circumstances, if I'm prepared and if the timing is right, I might leave my dog. I can't think of too many times though when I've really had to. And that's because of you guys and all the wonderful things that you engage them with to prepare them for almost anything.
Nice. Thank you, Maya. Okay, I'm gonna go back to Sherry. Sherry, do you have any funny stories of your dog realizing that you're blind or visually impaired?
I want that question.
More than one of you can
my
answer that
gosh.
question.
No.
Wow. Geez. Yeah. So it was pretty funny. We get home, and you know, I loved Karen. Like on her puppy note, she wrote, you know, and sometimes when he plays, you know, he forgets commands, you know, when he was a puppy and things, but he's playing. He's a dog, right? He's off his leash. He's playing. So we go to this fenced-in area, a few friends and I, and they're outside, and I'm in with him in the fenced area. And I took a ball and I threw it, and I'm like, what's he doing? And he went to get it, and he comes back and he drops it. I'm like, no, dude, you got to put it in my hand. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta bring it to me. And so he finally figured out, like, oh, okay. And then all I felt was this like wet nose shoving it in my hand, like, here you go. So it was a realization for him, like, if you don't put it in my hand, it's not gonna get thrown again. So it was really funny.
Cute. That is funny. All right. It feels like other people might have wanted to answer that question. Does anybody else have a funny story about when their dog realized that they were blind or visually impaired that they want to share? Or were you just laughing because that was funny?
I'll just back up on that one and say I've had all of my dogs have just, you know, realized that I'm partially sighted and I don't have very good depth perception. And in play, they will get just close enough for me to almost reach the things, and they pull away. So they like realize I don't have good depth perception. Yeah, my one dog would bring the ball to me and set it down, and as soon as I reached for it, he'd grab it. So it's like I feel like a little kid. Like when I was a kid, I would have been offended by that kind of teasing, but now it's like, you know.
Right.
That takes us back to the naughty dog question, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
A little bit,
Yes.
just a little bit. Okay, here is another question. Kelly, why don't you take this question? When you're out in the field, do you encounter many fake service dogs or other support dogs? Are they very disruptive, or is it easy for you and your dog to work around them? Tough question.
Great question.
I hear groaning.
That's my dog. No, yes, previously I did tons of travel when I was with Sprint and with Outreach for the Blind. And so I would be at conferences and things like that, do a lot of travel on planes. And planes and the airport, there's lots of fake service dogs. And so I've run into them with Hope. Caspian and I have not, because of COVID. I'm answering that question now. But you're welcome. Sorry about that. Anyway, but with Hope, we ran into him a lot, and she did a wonderful job of ignoring them, because she was the kind of guide dog that could ignore everything but me. And so she did a great job, and they didn't bother me or her, but they were abundant. Yes, unfortunately.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, let's see. I'm going to ask Chris, do you enjoy being approached by other GDB related people, like volunteers, alumni, when you're out in public?
Yeah, actually, it's funny because I feel like every place I place I visited, I've at least ran into like one GDB related people, whether they're like raisers or volunteers.
We are everywhere.
Yeah. Like a couple weeks ago, my girlfriend and I were in Newport, Oregon, on the Oregon coast, and we would visit this really cool lighthouse. And there was this old couple. I think they were like retired in their like 80s, and they said they used to raise puppies for GDB. And we just like talked to them about like 20 minutes. It was a really great conversation. So yeah, I love being approached by folks. It's always great to to meet the other GDB family. Yeah.
Nice, thank you. And yes, we really are everywhere, aren't we?
Yeah. Scary.
Deanna, how about this one for you? This puppy raiser says they are raising an 18-month-old dog named Asher. I'm curious about how the dogs adapt to campus after leaving the raiser and then how they adapt again. You probably don't know that part maybe, but how they adapt again when you bring them home.
I think they're, especially if the Labradors, they're just so adaptable. I think, but it is funny because we have been back to visit GDB's campus after graduation, and he does remember everything. He even tried to take me to the room we were in, and it had been 2 years.
Yeah.
And you're just, like, I think it's more stressful for us to come back home and trying to learn routes with the dog than it is for the dog to learn the routes, because they're pros, we're the ones who have to do all the learning.
Yeah.
That's really nice to hear. Thank you, Deanna. Okay, Melba, there's a question just for you.
Ooh.
Melba, do you give commands in English or Spanish? Is Chad also bilingual? And if yes, can he teach me Spanish?
Yes.
Yeah, great
All
question.
of the above. All of the above. In fact, I have a suspicion that he can speak any language. I work at a university, and these have been testing. For example, I have a colleague who speaks Greek, another professor, and she has given commands to Chad in Greek, like sit, and things like that, and he does follow. So I think it's the old idea that the dog understands the intention right behind the word.
Yeah.
But he's trilingual and really he can understand any language.
He definitely understands you, it sounds like.
Yes.
Absolutely. And he's wonderful about that. Yeah, absolutely.
Nice. Let's see, Amy, I think it's you. Other than a guide dog, what adaptive equipment do you use for daily life?
Well, I am trying to become a little bit better with some of the technology stuff. Like I just got a new computer with like Fusion, otherwise Zoom text. I do still have some residual vision, so I do use a CCTV for hard copy things. At work, I do more dictation just because a lot of things are not visually friendly with my computer stuff or with my work stuff. And on the occasions that I do need to leave Marcel home, I will use my cane. But I tend to find myself into trouble with that because I don't take the time to let my cane find something. I'm too used to Marcella zipping me around stuff. So I have broke a cane because I ran into a car once, but so yeah. Yeah. Marcella's way better.
That sounds, wow, that must have been quite a run-in with that car.
I was going too fast. It was my own fault, but yeah.
Okay, okay, you guys said that we could ask you anything. So Teresa,
Yes.
this question is for Laura. So of course, hopefully we hope that we'll have graduations again. When we do, Laura likes to bring a gift for her dog's partner, the dog's partner. I have
Aw.
brought a small small album of photos of the dog as a puppy for them to share. I then described all the photos for them. Is that insensitive? Have you received a special gift that was perfect?
Oh my gosh, no, that is a very cool gift because even though many of our graduates, including myself, have some vision and can, with a magnifying glass or with a video magnifier CCTV like Amy was talking about, can enjoy photos. And having the idea that you like described them all, that's awesome. But it's really fun to have that to share with other people too. So I think that's a beautiful gift and I think very appreciated for sure. Yes. I have a whole Will's like book that they put together and I have it in my office and people come in and they enjoy looking at it too. And it's very special. Yeah,
We love to
very
see
nice.
Wills as a puppy. Yeah,
Yes,
wouldn't-
he's so good.
it's wonderful. Thank you very much, Teresa. Let's see. I'm scrolling.
Oh, but you
through
said what would be the perfect?
Yeah.
Money,
Is there any
money,
money?
diamonds,
Wine.
wine. Yeah.
Wine. Yeah. Right,
Just
yeah, there
kidding.
you go.
The photos are perfect. And actually, it's the relationship. Honestly, what you guys do is such a gift.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm going to get all teary. So I'm not going to stop talking.
Yeah.
But yes.
I agree. I want, if I can add a quick
You can.
comment there.
Of course.
I was myself a recipient of one of these albums. And to be frank, for me, meeting and establishing contact in a relationship with the puppy raisers is the most significant part of a life-changing experience all around. And it's been so helpful because these dogs not just become part of our lives, they become part of our friends' lives and our families' lives and our neighbors. And what an amazing way to have something to offer them. And even if we can't see the photos all that well, we have it to share with everybody. So to me, there's no bigger kind of gift of love. And I was so appreciative of it. What a brilliant idea.
Thank you, Melva. Sounds like I see him nodding and a lot of people are agreeing. So thank you. That's really
Just
nice.
the fact that you're asking about giving us gifts after you've given us like a huge
Really?
gift
Yeah,
of
right.
life
Right.
is just like,
Whoa!
Right.
Another gift? Come on.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Marcia, how about this question? It's from Lacey. And it's a little long, but I'm going to read it to you. Given that one of the benefits of working with a guide versus a cane is that one avoids obstacles rather than deliberately encountering them, it's possible that a handler doesn't always recognize when an obstacle has been avoided, so the behavior isn't always reinforced. Do you ever engage in specific training sessions in an attempt to reinforce some of these more challenging guide work behaviors that might otherwise not be reinforced? And if so, what is that like for you?
Wow.
I know.
Ooh. Well, you have to understand, Vivian is my first guide dog, so I had a lot to learn, and she's still teaching me. They're so smart. I worked in a downtown environment, and there were lots of obstacles, and she learned that if she got a kibble when she showed me that tree well, that she could take me 20 feet over that way and show me that tree well.
What about this tree? Do you want to see this tree?
Yeah. Do you want to see this one? Let me show you this one over here. And
Look.
the trainers came back out and worked with me, and it was like she was really not manipulating, but I mean, she was so intelligent. I had to be trained, and I was over talking. I was like, not just left, right, halt. I was like, oh, you want me to see what this is today?
Okay, we all talk to our dogs, though, to be
Yes.
fair.
Yes,
I
we
had
do.
read somewhere that Labradors could learn up to 200 words, and I thought, I'm going to have the guide dog with the highest vocabulary. And then I realized that the focused vocabulary was a lot more important. I don't know if that answers the question.
I'm not sure either, but I liked it, Marcia. I thought it was good.
Right.
Did you have
answer.
something you wanted to add, Sherry?
I do. I
Please
have
do.
a sort of something very funny with the command. So when I brought Martinez home, I was walking with my wife, and I have a really bad habit, which I've since broken, where if I agree with something, I go right, right.
Yes.
So as we're walking, I'm like, right? And Martinez started walking me in a circle. And I'm like, what are you doing? Right? And I'm like, okay, no more walks with the wife.
Yeah.
That's not
Oh,
gonna
that's
happen.
funny.
I still haven't broken my bad habit of saying nice. That's nice all the time.
But
Which
that's
is
better.
Yeah.
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 Sarah, can I address the question?
absolutely. Please do, Amy.
So I was just gonna say that I think all of us, there are definitely times that we miss reinforcing them when they do things because we don't see it, but there are also those things that we do try to reinforce when we do notice that hey, we heard a large noise, or, you know, like I do have some vision, so sometimes I can tell if she goes around, those things. For me, one of the times that I reinforce it is when I have certain family members that maybe don't quite understand that I need to let her find something before I tell her to go one way or another. And so then I always try to reinforce it. Like if I'm with someone, they're like, come this way. And I'm like, no, she's, you know, so I think we all find like those little adaptations that we can reinforce, even though we don't necessarily get everything. And we do also sometimes have them rework things. There's about a block between a gas station and my work that Marcella and I travel at least once a week. And on the way back to it, there's a up curb off of this one driveway. And the other day she did this rolling stop, but it was more of a roll than even a stop. And so like I stopped her and I made her rework it. And I'm pretty certain she gave me this look that said, I knew the step was there. You knew it was there. Why are we doing it?
How many times have I showed you this thing?
Exactly, right. Like you knew it. You didn't stumble. We're all good. But yeah, so we do.
Well, it's also the beauty of intermittent reward is actually stronger than reward all the time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes
if
sense. That
there's something
definitely
in-
makes sense. Go ahead.
I feel like we have two things that our dogs are good at: avoiding things and targeting things.
Mhm.
And you know, they get rewarded for stopping, so we don't fall off something or so we don't bump into something. And so there's all these little points in between where we do stop and praise them at that street crossing, at that door. So they're constantly getting rewarded. So if they miss those obstacles, they're often doing it so they can get to that target spot. So there's that element as well. They're being rewarded, like Teresa said, kind of on a longer stretch.
That makes sense.
Well, I've
That
never thought
definitely.
about it that way. Helpful.
Melba's
Maya, you're
learning all
teaching
kinds
Melba
of stuff.
stuff.
Yeah. Who said you can't teach a teacher?
That makes so much sense.
Okay, I love it.
I'm
Let's see. Well, I've totally lost track of whose turn it is, quote unquote, but you know, I don't know. So here's another fun question from Mary Kay. Has your guide dog ever embarrassed you? For puppy raisers, it happens if the puppy makes like dreamy noises and movements during a work meeting. For Mary Kay, she says that's an icebreaker and it shortens meetings, which sounds great to me. I wish that happened, but at Guide Dogs for the Blind, we would never get anywhere if that shortened meetings. But
Yeah, that's for sure.
so, is anyone gonna fess up to the embarrassing moment?
I have a good one.
Okay.
Yeah,
for it,
it was with my very first guide dog, Blossom, and I was out to dinner with a friend at a, you know, very sort of fancy restaurant, and you know how they come around with the bread and they have the little tongs, right? They take the bread and they put it on your little plate with the little tongs. Well, they missed. And as it started to fall, Blossom jumped up and grabbed it midair, and the table next to us applauded.
That's
Ah,
So it was embarrassing, but I was also very proud of her. She could have played basketball for Sherry's for the gaucho.
Yes.
I'm not sure anyone's gonna top that story. That was amazing,
I don't know.
Teresa.
I might
Go
be
ahead,
wrong.
Kelly. Okay,
This is
Kelly,
Kelly.
go for
Only
it.
it's not my story. It's my friend's story who has a guide dog from Guide Dogs for the Blind. And it's about a 10-year-old dog. And we're walking down the street, and we have some friends that are sighted with us. And a kid and his family's coming out of an ice cream parlor. The kid's holding his ice cream cone. Her dog jumps up, eats the ice cream cone, and keeps walking. And nobody knows. Oopsie.
Also good.
Life is
Also
a
good. I love
buffet.
that one.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm gonna open this up to the group. This question is, can we hear some of the crazy nicknames? You all have crazy nicknames for your dogs, right?
Well,
Family friendly.
Vivian is Velcro Vivi.
That makes sense. That
And
makes
Vivian
sense.
has lots of songs too.
Yeah,
Yes,
but don't
that's
get me
true.
started.
Really? No?
I call Martinez big man sometimes. I'm like,
Big
come on,
man.
big man.
I
call
call
Will's
Caspian
Willsies.
Casper.
Willsies.
Casper. That makes
Oh,
sense.
Casper.
Willsies,
Casper,
yeah.
but he's black. You know,
Yeah.
there's something wrong there.
I also call him Wildebeest too.
Oh, I like that.
That's cute. I like
Um,
that. Those are fun. Okay, let's see. I'm looking at the questions again because there's quite a few and I'm trying to like kind of go back and forth between different kinds of questions just so that we kind of get a whole gamut of them. So Chris, tell us about the moment you met your guide.
Let's see. So I got Sadie from the San Rafael campus. I don't know. It was really nervous because it was like my first ever guide dog, and what they do. I'm sure if everyone's seen the movie. Basically, everyone after lunch, everyone kind of waits in their own room, and you wait for the instructors to come knock on your door. It was like the most nerve-wracking like 20 minutes of my life. Also because I could hear, so the room next to me, the wall, I guess the walls are very, very thick. So I could hear like the room next to me, my classmate, John, who is a triathlon athlete from Canada, meet his dog Neeson, and they were like the most like, it was like the most like rambunctious like meeting. Like the dog was like jumping on the bed, like he was just like, wrestling with the dog. And I was like, oh my gosh, what have I gotten myself into? And then it was my turn, and they knocked on my door, and Sadie came. She was actually very, I think, shy when she first came in, and it was a little sad because I guess she because she wasn't sure what was going on. So they introduced me to her. I was holding her. I petted her for a bit, and as soon as the instructor left, she went to the door and kind of sat in front of the door because she was like, I want to go out. Like I don't know where I'm supposed to be, but yeah, that was like my very first interaction. But afterwards, I kind of played with her a lot, petted her, and I gave her the Nella bone, and she loved the bone. And like as soon as I got her the bone, that was like when she's like, oh, okay, you're cool.
You just didn't have the right key.
Yeah.
Chris, you needed the key to her heart. And apparently it was an Nylabone. Who knew?
Yep. And ever since like that whole week, she won't play with it by herself. She always like had to bring it to me, and like I had to hold the bone for her. For her to play with it. So yeah, but that was my first time.
That's the best, holding the bone.
Yeah.
Lots
Yeah.
of dogs love that, don't they?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to ask someone specific because I feel like this might be something that hasn't happened to everybody, or maybe it has, but have you ever had your dog demonstrate intelligent disobedience?
Yes.
Go ahead.
A couple times, but the big one I think was my my first dog. We were going to get onto a streetcar at West Portal in San Francisco. It's the first stop into the tunnel. And I gave my dog a beautiful moving left turn onto the train. It was there waiting, and she kind of stopped and didn't turn into the streetcar. I was, come on, Selma, let's go. Go inside, left. And she wouldn't go, and she was blocking the door. And all of a sudden, someone comes running over saying, don't get on. And apparently they hadn't raised the steps. So there was a big gap between the platform edge and the, the bed of the streetcar.
Oh, wow. Good girl.
Good girl is right. Wow.
And then she, my current dog just did it again. And I didn't listen and went splat. So this is one of those listen to your dog things. I reached my hand through a garbage can, through a fence. There's no garbage cans near the hotel I'm at, and I looked forever for one. And I was so excited I found one. I was like, Gleam, let's go forward. And she turned right in front of me. And I thought, oh, you're just wanting to sniff the garbage can. So I like kind of shoved her over and stepped and like went off an 18-inch curb and belly flopped in the middle of a driveway.
Oh, jeez.
Well, we've got lots of bruises, don't we?
Yes, we do.
I have a sore knee, an uncomfortable wrist, and a bruised ego.
But
So,
good girl.
dog wins, Maya 0.
Well, we have a few more minutes left, and I have been kind of saving this question because I feel like maybe all of you will want to answer it. So here it goes. And I'm going to start with Kelly, and I'll give all of you an opportunity to say something if you'd like to. If there's anything that you could say to the puppy raiser or volunteer community, what would it be?
Oh my God, thank you. Thank you for the most incredible gift you could ever provide someone, and me, to be very specific. Thank you. You do a marvelous job, and there is no greater gift on the planet. Thank you. Independence and joy and love. Thank you.
Thanks, Kelly. Chris, go ahead.
Yeah, ditto. Thank you very much.
Yeah, everybody can just say ditto.
Yeah,
That's fair.
I actually had a privilege to visit the Bellevue Puppy Club. Shout out to Karen, who's an awesome leader and an awesome puppy raiser. And it's really cool to see them. Like I go to their meetings, every other week, and it's super cool to see everyone kind of practicing and working, and just all the kind of time and effort and dedication that everyone puts into raising puppies. And it's kind of mind-blowing how much effort it takes, and we're just really, really thankful for all the hard work that you guys do. And yeah, it's just amazing. So thank you very much, and we really hope that you guys continue to do your work, so more folks can get guide dogs like us and live a very independent life like we do.
Thank you, Chris. We do plan on keeping it going a little bit longer. and thank you very much for attending Puppy Club meetings. I'm sure they love having you. Deanna, is there anything that you want to say?
Thank you, of course. It's such a selfless act, and I'm just so grateful for the puppy raisers of GDB and Any Guide Dog School. You guys have more courage than I do, because I couldn't do it. I wouldn't be able to give them up. I'd be too selfish.
You'd be surprised, Deanna. You'd be surprised. Marcia.
Ooh, I'm not on the right page.
That's okay. If there's anything you want to say to the puppy raising community, because they're here listening to you, but you don't have to.
Am I unmuted now?
You are. Yes, you are.
Okay.
You're live.
Full confession, I was a cat person. I didn't do dogs. I thought all dogs were dirty and slobbery and noisy and ill-behaved, and I really had a lot of anxiety about bringing a dog home, especially because I still had a cat. Anyway, the house behavior that the puppy raisers taught Vivian, it really mattered to me as a non-dog person. The fact that she didn't bark and didn't jump and didn't get into the garbage and didn't chew my slippers and didn't want to get into bed with me. I know a lot of guide dog handlers sleep with their dogs. I personally don't want to sleep with a dog. And that behavior and the rest of the guide work that GDB provides, but the house behavior, make or break for someone like me.
Nice, Marcia. Thank you. The foundation of that. That's wonderful. Melba.
Okay, puppy racers, you have a superpower. You do. And that is, in my experience, the ability to make someone you've never met feel so loved. That's exactly what happened when I met Chad's puppy racers. And in fact, I remember them telling me that first day, and not that everyone has to do it, but I'm saying this is what happened to me. They told me they loved me and that I was part of their family, because Chad was part of their family as well. So I just want you to know that every time I work with Chad, I feel the love of that family every day. And for that, I'm so grateful. And just want to let you know that you have that superpower, and it is truly spectacular. Thank you.
Thank you, Melba. That was beautiful. Maya.
Dang it, I have to go after that.
I know. Sorry.
I'm glad it was you and
I'm
not me.
going
I
in
was
order of
hoping.
the screen. Sorry.
The funny thing is, I was going to say something, or I am going to say something very similar, but not as beautifully put. And that is simply that I sometimes in life, looking at the news and, just, stuff can get this, 2-word moniker of discord that people suck. But then I think about the puppy raisers and that you guys are giving so much of your life and your everything to bring so much autonomy to a total stranger. It's that really makes me believe that this world is really good and that love wins. And just thank you.
Thanks, Maya. That totally works for me too. The news can be
Yes.
such a bummer, right?
Yes.
But yeah,
Right.
think about the puppy raisers. Amy.
Whatever your higher power may be, God bless you. These dogs are such a blessing, not just in getting us through our daily lives and from point A to point B, when we listen to them and don't try to override their decisions, but just because we all do, and there's times where I say right instead of left and Marcella goes the direction she knows we're supposed to go. So the intelligence, it's just amazing. But it's all of the things that's already been mentioned, the house behaviors, they come to us and they're prepared. I don't know how many times I've been in stores and people, can you train my dog? And I'm like, no, I can't take credit for training this one.
I didn't train this dog.
No, I'm working on keeping the training, but it wasn't me. But just bless you. I mean, it is absolutely amazing. And thank you for trusting us with really a baby of yours. I mean, to even have that ability to, okay, we know you're, she or he is in your hands now and you'll take care of her. And so God bless you for everything you do, from those little moments to the big ones, because they all intertwine these personalities of these dogs, when our good days, our bad days, and everything.
Thank you, Amy. That was nice. Sherry.
Oh, I'm so glad everybody went before me, because I started. I started
The pressure,
crying
Sherry.
and
The pressure.
I started crying and getting emotional when Kelly started talking. So I'm glad. But yeah, I mean, I think that I know that, or I would hope to know that the puppy raisers realize, I mean, what they do and is just invaluable. But I really would want to express to them that I think what they do is life-changing, and that's very powerful. And that they change people's lives with the gift they give.
Thanks, Sherry. And Teresa, and I have one more question after this. So,
Well, then I'm just gonna say ditto, because they all said it better than me, and I love the love wins.
Love
Yeah,
wins.
love
That's the
wins.
best.
Yeah,
Hashtag
Very
love
good.
wins. That's going to be our new
New
motto.
puppy raising thing.
There we
Yep,
go.
I like
I
that.
love it.
That's perfect.
We're trademarking that right now. I can
Yep.
just
There you go.
see marketing.
Perfect.
Karen's on it.
They're
Yep.
working on it.
Yeah.
All
Ooh, do I
right,
get
one
royalties?
more
No.
question. One more question. We have a minute. If you're, I mean, we can go a minute longer, but if your dog was a popular song or a song, what would it be? Can anybody think of one?
Mine's easy. It's Happy from Pharrell, because Will's is just happy all the time. So happy.
I love that.
Okay, mine is from the 80s. Remember Huey Lewis and the News?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, happy to be stuck with you.
I love it.
I love it. I love it.
Mambo
Anybody
has
else?
several songs.
I bet Mambo has several songs. Yeah.
Well, Mama loves Mambo,
Mhm.
and then of course anyone from the late 80s, early 90s, who was a kid remembers Mambo number 5.
Yes.
Yep.
Mambo has a song.
He has his own song. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Mambo's from the musical litter, right, Deanna? They all have musical names? I
No.
think so. No, different
No.
one. Oh boy. I've been
I like
around
Love
puppy
the One
raising
You're
way
With.
too long. Who else? Anybody else have a song?
I think
Love the One You're With.
Martina's. Yeah, that's a good one. Love the one. I
Can
think
you hear
Martina's
me?
would be.
Love the one you're with.
Love the One You're With.
Yes.
What were you gonna say, Sherry?
The Martinez would be Confident by Demi Lovato.
Oh, that's
There you
good.
go.
Nice.
I
Good
think
one.
Marcella's would
This is
change.
Marsha. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you,
Yeah.
Marsha.
Yes.
Okay, you got to tolerate a little singing now.
Uh-oh. Okay.
With apologies to Karen Carpenter.
Oh, I love the Carpenters. Go ahead.
Such a feeling's coming over me. I feel wonder even though I cannot see. Could be clouds in the sky or the sun in my eyes, but it's almost like walking in a dream.
Oh,
Everything I want the world to be is not coming true, especially for me. And the reason is clear, it's because Livy's here. She's the nearest thing to heaven that is real. I'm on the top of
the world and
looking, walking bravely with my guide, and the only explanation I can find for the joy that I found ever since she's been around. Livy guides me to the top of the world.
Yeah.
Bravo.
That
That's a
was
good go,
amazing.
Marsha.
Yes.
And the perfect way to end this
I
session.
do her a
That was
song.
amazing.
I do her a song every year.
Yes.
I
One a
love
year.
that, Marsha. That was wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing
Awesome.
that with us. That was wonderful.
Thank you for indulging me.
thank you, puppy raiser.
On behalf
thank
of the puppy
you.
raising community, thank you so much for giving your time and for being here. We loved it. That was wonderful. Thank you so much, everyone. That was a blast. I had so much
That was a
fun.
blast. So much fun.
And
Thank
you for
you,
making my
Sarah.
job easy.
Yes,
Thank you,
Thank you,
Sarah.
Sarah, and
Thank you,
Lena
Sarah.
too. Yeah.
Yes. And thank you, Lena.
Thank
She was in the
you.
background helping
Thanks.
me out
Yes.
too.
Thank
So
you, Lena.
thank you, everyone, for
Lena.
being
Thanks, Sarah.
here.
Pleasure.
See you
Cheers.
later.
Puppy raisers.
Bye, guys.
Bye, puppy
Bye,
raisers.
everyone.